we have a new member for the group, and one of the questions I asked her was, what did she imagine her biggest challenge would be? She said, I'm worried that I'll never kick it. There's a deep belief inside her that she'll never be able to beat this disorder. And I bet that, like me and like you guys, well, many of you, that belief is there because you've tried 100 times and failed. But if you're feeling that way because you actively went into recovery before, super pumped and ready to go, only to have the shit kicked out of you by recovery, just bringing it to your knees every day. You wake up thinking, this is the time, this is it, I'm going for it, I'm going to smash it. And by the end of the day, you're already long off the horse. And you've done that thousands and thousands of times. It wouldn't be surprising at all that you might start to think, well, maybe this just isn't actually possible. And then when you see a story in the media or hear a friend say, well, you know, once an addict, always an addict, or you never truly recover from an eating disorder, you might take that on as being true for you. So here's what I'm going to say to counteract that, because I think that the most important thing you can have in recovery is a belief that it's possible, one, and that it's possible for you, two. So if it's possible, and there's multiple examples of people out there saying, full freedom, I don't even worry about it, I'm completely transformed in this department. If there are people out there, if one person says they're experiencing that and you believe it to be true, then it's possible. And if you need evidence that it's possible for you, then this is how we're going to get there. I want you to expect that you're going to fail. I want you to expect that. I've had a few people when I've done sort of introductory calls with people when I meet for the first time, and we get to this, that underneath all the other worries, the concerns, what if I gain weight, blah, 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 the deepest concern is, what if it's actually just not possible? Why would I waste my time? Why wouldn't I just give up now and just accept this as part of my life? And firstly, I've realized it's a false choice, because I got there many times where I just thought, you know, it's just not going to happen. I just need to accept that this is just, couldn't I just be happy with bulimia in my life? And I've just written a whole piece, and maybe I'll share that with you guys. If you let me know in the comments, I will happily send you a link to this piece where I basically explain how I realized it's a false choice. Because ultimately, I kept coming back to wanting the recovery again. So let's accept that you're always going to want recovery and that acceptance isn't really possible. The second piece is believing that you can achieve it, that if you put in enough work and you have a good strategy that actually works, it's possible for you. And I would say, in fact, no, I didn't make this up. I've learned this from somebody else. If you do enough work at anything, you pick anything that feels virtually impossible to achieve. It would be an unbelievable struggle, but if you put in enough work and you follow and the advice and the strategies of people who've done it before, it would be unreasonable to expect that you wouldn't succeed. It wouldn't be unreasonable to expect that you wouldn't go exceptionally far and be in one of the top, 1 to 10% of exceptional people. If you've done enough work and followed good strategies on the advice of people who've done it before, it would be unreasonable to expect that you wouldn't have what you wanted or wouldn't come exceptionally close. Let me use one other quick example. I'm working with a client at the moment who does not have an eating disorder. She came to me because she knows I'm good with helping people find the confidence and the persistence and the resilience to do exceptionally difficult things. And let's not joke, bulimia recovery is an exceptionally difficult thing. But she is an athlete and she's wanting to compete at a high level in an industry that's unbelievably male dominated and where it's exceptionally difficult for women to get respect or even get through the door. And because she's got very few role models in this arena, and because it looks consistently like she's never going to break through, the level of self-belief, the testing relentlessly on her belief that it's possible is next level. And you would forgive her for giving up. You would forgive anybody in that arena for just saying, this is just never going to happen for me. And Bulimia Freedom Fighters, I'm not lying when I tell you, I had a coaching call with her the other day because she was wanting to give up again. This is a regular thing, and you are going to feel this. That's what I'm saying. You're going to fail. You're going to push. Things aren't going to work. They're not going to go your way. You're not going to see results until you do. Because one day, things start getting easier. One day, a door opens. One day you get through the barrier that you've been pushing at for ages, and finally it comes crumbling down. And I tell you, right after that call, she got a call from one of the teams that she'd been going for. They didn't say, please come on in, but they've asked her to come and work with her at a ridiculously low salary, but what does it matter? To kind of test drive her, not in a racing capacity, but they're bringing her on board. Now, I don't know where that'll lead, but I tell you what I know for sure. There's no way she would have got that invitation if she hadn't been unbelievably resilient, if she hadn't had an almost irresponsible belief that it was possible for her. So now she's got a new set of challenges. There's the elation of getting the call, followed by all the fear that's going to come in now, because there's a new set. You're going to go through that too. But if you can just foster the belief, and I really mean foster as in you have to work on the belief every day. When you catch yourself thinking, this isn't possible for me, you can replace it with, I'm going to work so hard at this that it would be unreasonable for me to expect that I wouldn't make it. And so oftentimes in recovery, specifically because it's so challenging, we're dealing with urges and compulsions and dopamine disruption, and probably your electrolytes are out of whack, and. So you just start from the beginning and you go through the course diligently, day by day. You do the preparation, then you start learning the first skill, then you start learning the second. And I'm telling you, you're going to make so many mistakes along the way until you don't. And you just start working one skill. And then it's like a language, right? You just start getting a little bit of the present tense right. And just when you get that, oh God, now you've got to start learning the past tense, and that just throws you right off, but then you persist and you start breaking through. But it all starts with this belief. If underlying your entire recovery attempt is a belief that you don't think you can actually make it, or it's impossible, that nobody truly recovers, then I would do the work right now before you even start this journey to sit with that belief, and you begin turning it around, and you're going to need to turn it around every day. And the kind of thing I would choose to use to do that I'll tell you what I did use, but this is a better one. This is an upgrade. Tell you what, I used to use the idea that anything is possible. And I had examples, and this is why I do this in one of my first videos, where I say, give me examples of when you've succeeded at something that's been really difficult. And what I knew to be true is that I had achieved anything I put my mind to. It's all been work, and there was challenges, but anything I put my mind to, I could achieve. So I knew on some level that if I put my mind to this, it was possible. And then I started doing the work of reframing and learning and testing and trialing and failing and getting back up and and it was a long journey. Okay, my recovery was not overnight. Don't worry. But yours will be much faster than mine, because you're going to not only take my experience and use that, but you're going to take the experience of all the people that I've worked with, all the books that I've read, all the coaches that I've learned from, all the eating disorder recovery specialists that I've learned from, and we're just putting that all so that you will have the maximum chance of making progress faster than anybody who's come before. So all you need to do to begin with is, if you hear yourself with that really malicious, it will hold you back, is that if you can hear that whisper of thinking, I'm never going to make this, it isn't really true, nobody gets recovery. If you hear words like that popping up to you, I want you to stop them in their tracks. And I want you to say something to yourself like, here's the upgrade. I don't care if only one other person on this planet has experienced true freedom from this disorder. I'm going to be the other one. Because if one person can do it, so can I. And I will put in so much effort and so much work that it would be unreasonable for me to expect that I wouldn't recover. Does that make sense? It's a really powerful turnaround. And you can use that same turnaround for absolutely anything that you put your mind to. That you're going to dedicate your time, effort, and energy on completing the work, on doing the assignments, on being willing to fail and learn and improve and grow and adjust your strategy if need be. That you are going to find the experts, and you're going to get the support, and you're going to reach out for help, because it means that much to you. And if you do all of that, it would be unreasonable for you to think it was not possible. It would be unreasonable for you to not recover with all of that effort and energy put in, because you do that to anything, you will succeed. Bottom line. Okay. So I hope that's really exciting for you. Thank you for the amazing new BFF who asked the question. because I imagine that's going to be unbelievably beneficial to anybody else who feels herself struggling with that belief that she's not going to make it, that it's not actually possible, and certainly not for her. So if you're that person, please, I hope this video has been very valuable for you, and get out there and kick ass. So for the next few days, we're going to do some prep work. Go through the videos if you've got them. If you haven't, I'm going to be doing more stuff like this in the BFFs. But the goal of the next few days is to take a moment to go, where are you now? Where do you want to be? This is huge. A lot of people have no idea what they're going for. We all know what we don't want, but not many people know what they want. So that's a really important piece. Spend time fleshing out the vision of life without bulimia. I want all of it, get clear. And then I want you to get clear on the challenges. And I tell you what, this one, the belief that it's not possible and not possible for you is the most insidious thing that was like acid. It'll just eat away at you until it destroys your recovery efforts. So you nip that one in the bud now, so that when you take on things like, what about if I gain weight? What will my friends think? How do I get through this? And all of those things will come up. At least you won't be sitting with this underlying fear that's tripping you up all the time. Because if you hold on to the idea that it's not possible, the energy of putting effort in is likely to wane. It happens to me, and I'm amazed the power of our minds. I can go from feeling strong and capable, confident, and have a negative thought come through, and it just destroys all the energy I have. And so that's why what we think and what we believe, it's so important, because if we believe things that will fundamentally trip us up, we're going to need 10 times more energy to do the work. And I think you can take on a new belief today and begin to condition it in by repeating it. If you need to, write it somewhere, put it where you can see it. I'm going to work so hard that it would be unreasonable for me to expect that this wouldn't happen. Right, lovelies, all the best. I'll chat to you soon. Adios. Hi, if you don't know me, my name's Helen Bennett. I'm the founder of bulimiafreedom.com. Yes, I struggled with bulimia for 20 years. And yes, what I do now is I help people all over the world break free of that compulsive need to binge, eat, or purge. And we want to do that as fast as possible. Now, I don't make these videos just to entertain you. I make them because I want you to get the results that you're looking for, the freedom that you're hoping for. And it's all possible, but it starts with taking consistent, repeated action. So here's an action I'd love you to take straight away. Write in the comments as you're listening to this, one aha moment, or one action you're going to take after listening to this video. And here's another action you might choose to take. If you're struggling and you think you can do this alone, there's a good chance you're going to still be there a year's time in the same position. And I know this because I did it for way too long. I got a ton of help along the way. And if you think that I might be able to help you, if you resonate with the content and you've watched a few videos and you're feeling like, damn, this chick knows what she's talking about and I think she can help me, then I'm going to encourage you to take another action. Go to bulimiafreedom.com straight away and check out the programs that we offer. We've got DIY, group, and private. So whatever it takes, floats your boat, whatever think's going to work for you, that's what we've got there. And I promise you, those programs get results for the people who take, you guessed it, consistent action. They show up, they do the work, and they're persistent AF. So if you think that that is what you need to get the results you're looking for, to feel the freedom that I'm constantly bleating on about in my videos, then please take that action, check it out, and I hope to see you soon. I hope you enjoyed that video. Here's to your freedom. Action, 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 one action at a time.